Now, as I'm sure you've all noticed, the Elden Tree is impressively tall. Equally impressive is that King Cormoran Aradon's throne lies in the tallest branches of the tree.
Excuse me, is it really at the top? If so, how would one get up there to meet with him?
A trunk has 3 landings within it. The topmost one takes you to the King's throne. The climb is worth it, I assure you. As you may have encountered, all throughout Valenwood live the Spinners, the most faithful devotees of Ifrit, our most important god.
How would this one know a spinner apart from other Bosmir? Not to sound rude, but this one has trouble telling elves apart.
There are 3 around you now. Look for the Bosmor sitting in scenic places, but they will not move without being moved. All that spinners should ever do is tell stories according to history.
stretch across the sands. Peace wounds our joyful lands, hearts that shines through the dark, wrapped in the threads of time. A demon rises from the east, followed by a crimson beast. Oh, the earth is torn and scorched, our people know but fear now. A warrior raises sword to the sun, calling warriors to follow. Alkosh guides threads yet unspun. His champion goes forth, his champion goes forth. Soldiers come from foreign shores to join us in our dreadful war, taking stride by the warrior's side and prepare for battle. Crimson Beast nobly bestows a horn to defeat his vile foe. Its call forces fiends to fall. Victory seems so close now. The warrior makes one last stand against the dreaded demon. Ice and blood staining peaceful sands. Nighttime fills the sky. Chains and spells bind the demon tight, locking it away in darkness. Soldiers celebrate a new dawn's light. And peace reigns once more. And peace reigns once more. This one weaves a song. She'll sing it to you all day long. Will you love her? Will you love her? She'll steal 1,000 jewels. She'll even play the fool. Say you love her. Say you love her. Well, your father will never give his blessing true, but let's be honest, dear, that's what you want to hear. No, this one will never buy you Mara's ring, but under the starlight you can grasp her tight. This one weaves a song. She'll sing it to you all day long. Will you love her? Will you love her? She'll steal 1,000 jewels. She'll even play the fool. Say you love her, say you love her. So many sweetmeats this one could do, but it's you that she needs. Oh, she begs and pleads in the moonlight. She will surely worship you, but come the morning sun, she'll most definitely run. Hello, my friend, come take a seat. Grab something sweet and join us for some fun. A tickle felt in this one's ear as you drew near, says you got a tidy sum. The clink of coins from your jaunty loins sing of riches to be won. Let down your mane, join in our game. We've only just begun. Place your wager, raise the stakes, build a tower from your drakes, draw your fortune, toss your wealth. Risk it all, you'll have your health. And if you wind up on the street, at least you live like true Khajiit. I see, my friends, that you have pluck, but you're short on luck. That hand was hard to beat. And if you find you're feeling cross about this tragic loss, there's a cause for your defeat. You took your chance on a furtive glance at cards that couldn't compete. But these cat's eyes, they tell no lies. Next time be more discreet. Take a gamble, whoops, you're done. Now you're broke, tuck tail and run. Don't make a scene or swear and roar. Tossed out to hoots and howls galore. Next time your money's on deceit, have the good sense to try and cheat. pride. Lord, 'cause your steps will bind me to follow in his stride. Al-Kosh will purify me to mend the sands of time. His mask will sanctify me, a champion of pride. I ride the winds calmingly and never break my stride. I face the darkness valiantly, the lanterns are my guide. When the threads are all spun, when I've earned my right, I'll stand before the endless one and bow before her might. Can earth these winds will guide me to brave the path with pride. Lord, cautious steps will bind me to follow in his stride. Al-Kosh will purify me to mend the sands of time. His mask will sanctify me, a champion
A moment, please. Excuse me, if I may be so bold. More like a summons, really. Comes from Abner Tharn, who once advised Emperor Varen of Cyrodiil. He wants to see you in Riverhold in northern Elsewhere. Said it involves the Khajiit Defense Force and a rage of dragons, if you can believe it.
Can I help you?
Not to complain, but the old wizard frightens me. He has such piercing eyes. And the way he talked about dragons made my hair stand on end. If there's nothing else, I need to move on. These messages won't deliver themselves. Not to complain, but the old wizard frightens me. He has such piercing eyes. And the way he talked about dragons made my hair stand on end.
Don't be sad, horse friend. Gordon will come home soon. This is the life, yes? The sun beating on your shirtless fur, the sweet smell of moon sugar cane wafting through your whiskers. It doesn't get any better than this, Walker. Everything would be perfect if it weren't for those meddling pests. Hadam Nargo prefers to remain positive, so he thinks of it as more of a pest opportunity. Wasps are nesting in his fields, but he can't get rid of them because he's busy consoling his horse over our lost Guar Gordon. This is a very sensitive horse. He has a name, friend. His name is Gordon the Guar. He ran off, and Hadam Nargo has had no luck luring him back. Gordon and the horse are very close. They often spend hours just staring at each other. It's a bit strange, but Hadam Nargo doesn't judge. Thanks for your help getting rid of the wasps in the fields, and finding my lost Guar. If Hadam Nargo's horse wasn't so sad and knew how to talk, he would thank you too. He's sad about Gordon, but he's usually a happy horse. The Imperials brought them during their integration, and we've adapted a few breeds for labor. I think he likes working on the farm, and we like having him around, especially Gordon. Hadam Nargo doesn't give them much thought. We've been sharing Grimin with them for a very long time, and we'll probably share it with them for much longer. As long as they leave Hadam Nargo alone and don't tell him to put his shirt on, it will be fine. Kill them with fire! Hadam Nargo is serious, Walker. He loves his horse, and he's fairly fond of Gordon. But those meddling wasps can burn. Because he looks like a Gordon. I'm sure you'll agree when you see his face. This is never going to end easy.
This one never trusted Ambassador Tarillo. At least we'll have an embassy in Eldenwood.
Did you come to share this lizard with Zanzag? You can have the neck, maybe a hind leg if you're lucky. Everything that moves belongs to Zanzag, especially when he's hungry. Tell Hadam Nargo that if he has a problem with that, Zanzag can eat his precious horse instead. How did you know that Zanzag is uncomfortable eating things with first names? Zanzag will find his dinner somewhere else. Now that you mention it, he does look like a Gordon.
You got rid of the wasps and you found Gordon. Adam Nargo can't tell you how happy this makes his horse. Did you run into any trouble? Ah, Sanzag. We established this farm together, but things got strange when Hadam Nargo bought his horse. I think he was jealous. But I never felt comfortable riding on snake talk back. Please, accept this gift for everything you've done.
Do your trading here. Ah, yes. The one who approaches might help us with your artifacts.
Time to make me a fur coat.
You'd think she was possessed or something. I try to be a gentle orc and help a lady in need, and what does it get me? A lecture on Akaviri artifacts and a magical talking. There's a Khajiit digging through the rubble of an old Akaviri tomb just up the trail.
have slain scores of Tamriel's greatest warriors. This will be no different. There can be no recovery when the lion roars. Come and test your mettle. The pack's fury empowers us. Every strike here cuts the heart. Face me if you dare. Merry vitality surges through our veins. Make use of it if you can. You will need it. You cannot defeat me. Already lost. Lie dead at my feet. What hope do you have? You cannot defeat me. My training is immeasurable. My skills undeniable. I can read your every move. You've already What hope do you have? You cannot defeat me! How could I do such...
Someone who can help us now. Ah, Vestige. How good of you to attend me. As I was saying to Lord Gareshri and Chimera, competent help remains at a premium in this remote province, which is why I sent for you. We must once more join forces to save elsewhere from a rage of dragons. So much better than flock or herd, don't you think? The Khajiiti Defense Force isn't prepared to deal with a threat as big as dragons, especially since they were fighting to liberate Rimmen when the huge beasts arrived. Stay focused. We'll deal with that later. Right now, we must assist the Defense Force. Rendezvous with us at their command post. On your way, however, I have another task for you. I detected a series of power surges that I want you to investigate. I was formulating a spell to track the dragons when I noticed several surges of arcane energy not far from here. They reminded me of an old acquaintance. Has a way with portals. If it is him, I want you to secure his help against the dragons. Around. Someone needed to check on Cyrodiil and try to hold the pieces together. With the central government disbanded and the imperial city a smoking ruin, any semblance of order has gone the way of the Dwemer. The people deserve better. Between the imbecilic Three Banners War and the constant rise and fall of some new warlord or bandit chief, there was more to deal with than even I imagined. Even so, I was able to make some small difference. Without a legion to command, my options were severely limited. The best I could manage was to liberate a few small villages and lead the refugees to a safe haven. Hence my desire to end this pathetic war and restore order to the Empire. You think so, Vestige? Perhaps you don't know me half as well as you think. I am Imperial. I was formulating a spell to track the dragons when I noticed several surges of arcane energy not far from here. Around. Someone needed to check on Cyrodiil and try to hold the pieces together. With the central government disbanded and the Imperial city a smoking ruin, any semblance of... I was formulating a spell to track the dragons when I noticed several surges of arcane energy not far from here. Around. Someone needed to check on Cyrodiil and try to hold the pieces together. With the central government disbanded and the Imperial city a smoking ruin, any semblance of order has gone the way of the Dwemer. The people deserve better. Between the imbecilic Three Banners War and the constant rise and fall of some new warlord or bandit chief, there was more to deal with than even I imagined. Even so, I was able to make some small difference. Without a legion to command, my options were severely limited. The best I could manage was to liberate a few small villages and lead the refugees to a safe haven. Hence my desire to end this pathetic war and restore order to the Empire. You think so, Vestige? Perhaps you don't know me half as well as you think. I am Imperial through and through, never forget that. My people matter to me, as does our culture, our heritage, and our future. How should I put this so that you fully understand? None of your business. The Amulet of Kings represents the highest office in the Empire, and I refuse to allow it to become lost or stolen again. I expect nothing but your continued assistance, Vestige. However, I concede that your aid in recovering the relic was vital, so I assure you that it is perfectly safe. Safer than it has ever been. Do you always accept the rantings of Daedric princes at face value? After what we've seen, you should know better. But if you must know, I did try. It was a fruitless endeavor, however, as I am not of the proper lineage. Satisfied? I was formulating a spell to track the dragons when I noticed As you can imagine, the companions were none too pleased with me after everything that transpired. I've made no effort to reach out to the survivors, nor they to me. It's just as well. That chapter of our lives ended at Heart's grief. I was formulating a spell to track... Hard to say with certainty, but I don't believe so. They remind me of Sir Cadwell, who somehow opens portals with a power of similar intensity. Check the locations I marked on your map before you make your way to the defense camp. Ah, yes, of course you do. He does get around. If Cadwell turns out to be the source of the power surges, learn what he's doing out there and ask if he will aid us against the dragons. For all his eccentricities, he has talents we can utilize. Lord Garesh Ree is the Speaker of the Main and the commander of the Northern Elsewhere Defense Force. His aide, Chimera, serves as both a diplomat and a spy, though she would never call herself that. If you want to know more, feel free to ask them. My half-sister, Euraxia, conquered Rimmon and other parts of northern Elsewhere about 6 years ago. The Khajiiti Defense Force has slowly been taking back their province, but Rimmon is well fortified. And now, because of the dragons, things are worse. A militia drawn from the prides of northern Elsewhere. Garesh Ree, the Speaker of the Main, has taken command during this crisis. With Dominion troops busy fighting the Three Banners War, the Defense Force must deal with the Euraxians and the dragons.
Another outsider comes to Elsewhere, as if we did not have enough problems between Abnor Tarn and the dragons. Ah, do not mind me. Great beasts rampaging through my homeland tends to put me in a foul mood. I am Kamira. I assist the Speaker of the Main and serve as his agent. With both the usurper queen and the dragons ravaging northern Elsewhere, there is much for me to do. Too much, I fear. But I will persevere. What can I tell you that you cannot guess? That these fearsome creatures of legend have returned to threaten Elsewhere? That much is obvious. Damn it. This is all Abner Tharn's fault. Dark Moons, take him! That arrogant Imperial! For an advisor to emperors and a renowned battle mage, he demonstrates a disturbing lack of caution. It was Abner Tarn who entered the halls of Colossus and released the dragons. He says that was not his intention, but... what do my beliefs matter? Dragons have come to Elsewhere, destroying everything I hold dear. As the Moon Singers say, the path to oblivion is paved in good intentions. So damn Abner Tharn. Damn him for unleashing this terror upon us.
You're responding to Abner Tharn's letter, one of the promising adventurers. I hope you can help us. But where are my manners? Welcome to Riverhold and the province of Northern Elsewhere, also known as Anequina. I am the Speaker of the Main. No, matters in other parts of Elsewhere occupy the Main right now. That is why I am here. I originally arrived to take charge of the Northern Elsewhere Defense Force. Efforts to expel the usurper Euraxia Tharn were well underway when the dragons appeared. A few years ago, Abner Tharn's half-sister conquered Rimmon and parts of northern Elsewhere. We recently liberated Riverhold and were about to do the same for Rimmon when the dragons spread across the land. It's almost as if they came to her aid. Talk to Abner Tharn. He has agreed to serve as my advisor, a role he knows well from his years standing beside the Ruby Throne. His strategies and tactics for use against the dragons sound outrageous, but he knows what he is doing.
could use a break.
I'll be at this a while. Care to bargain?
A crowded marketplace, a chance meeting, unexpected, unannounced, and perhaps just the thing this one needs to solve a most curious investigation. Music Thunderboots. An abduction, to be precise. No ransom, no demands, no obvious suspects or motives. Just a heartbroken father and a missing young lady. But that is why Music was hired, yes? He steps in when all other justice fails. Correct. This one searches for Xynthia, daughter of Ishu. However, Music's inquiries have led to nothing but dead ends. And with the young lady's safety on the line, the sooner this investigation is solved, a chance meeting turned fated partnership. Fortuitous for this one, yes? You should speak to Ishu first. See if he has any new information for us. His house is just south of the marketplace. Can't miss it. He is a humble Khajiit of moderate wealth. Seems to keep to himself. No enemies, no debts. No reason why he would be targeted. Yet just a few days ago, his daughter, Xynthia, was taken in the dead of night. Most strange, no? If Music did not know better, he would say that it was an intimidation tactic. Perhaps even an act of revenge against Ishu. But who would wish this cruelty against such a kind Khajiit? They outright dismissed Ishu's claim, believing that the young lady has merely run away. A most vexing call, truth be told. From all that Ishu has told this one, Xynthia is a most sweet Khajiit, not one to make her father worry. Music Thunderboots is a Khajiit of action. Well, he does not wish to merely boast of his prowess. This one aims to prove such skill. Just as soon as we have a little more to go on, of course. It is a good name, no? Music Thunderboots. When scoundrels hear the footsteps of his boots, they will quake in fear.
Welcome to Riverhold, friend. You should feel fortunate to have found the finest collection of cloth in all of Elsewhere. Let the Dara know if you see anything you like. Welcome to Riverhold, friend. You should feel fortunate to have found the finest collection of cloth in all of Elsewhere. Let the Dara know if you see anything you like.
Orc's work is never done.